So yeah, there we go.
All right,
Hey,
Okay.
that sounds good. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, you can hear yourself. Let's see.
Hear myself.
The clouds, I've been driving tire burning while burning the loud. Used to fuck a lot of girls, never got attached though. Seen too many chicks creeping out the back door. Now I'm older and I understand the flaw. Never loving the all, like throwing rocks at the wall, thinking where did I go wrong? And Burn Slow was more than just a song. I'm writing it all along. No, I'm not perfect, man. I don't ever plan to be. I just know what it takes when you speak in
Go. That's a new release right there from you, Alwa Gordon. It's Loving Yourself.
Hey,
That's off your new thing. Thanks for waiting.
yes.
You know, we're here right now. We're doing Cutty Convos. So I mean, you're just out in the city right now doing
Yeah.
your thing. You're really from Santa Cruz though.
Yes.
You were like born and raised out there your whole life?
Born and raised in Santa Cruz, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like I've spent a little bit of time in Santa Cruz, not too much, but
Yeah.
like I've heard you say a lot of stuff about it that like really resonates with me too, because I'm not from the city originally. I'm from like a suburb from SoCal.
Okay.
And so like when you're always like, yeah, this place is like hella racist, but people don't know about it. I'm always like, I so relate to that.
Yo.
You know what I mean?
Yo, it's a trip because so on the outside, Santa Cruz is, I think a lot of people think it's like really liberal.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
It gets the idea of like this hippie town, but my experience like living there, is a lot of like fake liberalism, where it's like it's on the surface, like
Definitely.
we're really accepting. It's one of those things where you probably run in this, like people will like post like, or people have posters that say like Black Lives Matter,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they'll cross the street if they see a black person.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
definitely.
It's like that vibe of like they're more offended to be called racist than actually like just not be racist.
Yeah, no,
know what
I
I mean?
100% agree. That's like, I always talk about this with like my friends when we're in Berkeley. They always have like those signs. I don't know if you ever seen it. It's like science is real. all
Love is
religions are-
love.
Yeah.
Oh
And it's
my
like, bro,
God.
like you are the most racist person ever. And they have like a Ukraine sign like in their fucking thing. It's like, bro, I don't know.
No.
That shit is always just so crazy for me to think about. And like, I don't know. It's nice to like see you like break out of that though, and still like kind of like come to like realer spaces and be like, yo, yeah, these people are fake.
Yeah, you know, it's a trip, man. So for me personally, I wouldn't be in Santa Cruz. My daughter's mom lives there.
Okay.
So that's where I live. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be in Santa Cruz, man. I was born there. I love it. It's like a lot of my music, or like my you know, I guess just life has been like impacted by Santa Cruz. So like it's always got a special place in my heart, but I wouldn't live there by choice, honestly.
Yeah, no,
you know?
I totally get that.
Yeah.
What made you like kind of like branch out here? Because I know you fuck with like Devin.
Yeah,
fuck with,
shout out to Devin.
Shout out to Devin.
Hey.
You fuck with What's Real, you know. Shout out
Yep.
to What's Real. Like how'd you like start like kind of messing up with like
Man.
Bay folks?
You know, how did it really start? Let's see. I met What's Real, ironically, back in 2017.
Okay.
So, homie by the name of Mike. I'm not sure if you know Mike. He now does like video production, stuff like that. But we were all going to South by Southwest in 2017. It was my first time to go.
Oh, okay.
And we were all carpooling, and Mike hit me up. He's like, yo, there's this artist, What's Real. He's gonna he's gonna go. We should all carpool together. And I was like, yeah, whatever. You know, I didn't really know him at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up all going together. Crazy trip. a lot of random stuff happened.
Okay.
But we ended up just like connecting after that. And then he actually brought me out to San Francisco for a show. And that's how I actually met Professor Gable. It was a show at
Wait, was it at Bottom of the Hill?
No, that was one that I saw you at.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's where I first saw you ever. Yeah.
No, that was like not that long ago. This one was at what's the venue that's really close to San Francisco State University. It's like a bar on the other side. It's not like a super well known venue. They sometimes do events there. I forget the name of it,
Yeah,
but
I can't remember either.
I did a show there with Professor Gable and What's Real, and that's how I kind of like tapped into just the Bay Area scene, and like have kind of just been coming back ever since. But I also think it's really important, at least for me, to like get outside of Santa Cruz and travel and like
Definitely.
meet other creatives that are like motivated and have like a decent message, but also aren't like kind of trapped in that like small town mind state.
Do you feel like Santa Cruz is kind of like that, where it's like a small town mind state where everyone's like kind of out for themselves, or like what do you think of Santa Cruz music scene?
Shit. Shots fired. No.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yeah.
No. Okay. So Santa Cruz music scene, I think, for one, I think it's very small town vibes, where a lot of artists there get caught in like, I want to be the man in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, you know, I look at it like numbers wise, like, bro, Santa Cruz only has like what, 30,000 people. So like, even if every one of those people is your fan, what is that, 30,000 Spotify listeners? You know what I mean? And that's not a small thing, but it's like no one really
that's
thinks
all you want. Yeah,
if that's all you want. For me, I'm like, yo, if this is going to be a career, like, we got to think bigger. We got to go, you know, across California, across, you know, United States, etc. So I think Santa Cruz music scene, a lot of people get caught up in the smaller idea. And I also think that there's not as much, like, I don't want to say motivation, but there's not as much like longer term, like, hey, I want to do this as a career. It's more like, I want to be the man at this party.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is fine, but you're gonna get older.
Yeah.
You know,
it's really like, what do you want out of life, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I agree with you with that. I think like sometimes San Francisco falls in that too, and Oakland, Berkeley,
I've heard
like
that.
every place.
I've heard that, man.
I feel like it's different depending on where you're at, but like I've noticed it when it's like, you know, I mean, we do two different things, but like still kind of, you know, similar lanes.
Right.
And it's like when I see people make clothes, they kind of make clothes exclusively for like San Francisco people or Oakland people or whoever. And that's fine and it's beautiful and you can make a huge fan base out of that. But it's also like, is that where you want to be for the rest of your life? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't have like a root here. You know what I mean? My parents don't live here. My grandparents don't live here, like that kind of thing. So it's like, I can't really like rely on like being here forever. You know what I mean? Like, everything is temporary. So it's kind of like, you know, I want to make something for San Francisco for sure. I want to make something for the Bay, but I also am like, I want to go to New York. I want to go to Texas. I want to go to fucking Oklahoma. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
All around the spot. And I feel like that's like a really important thing to think about because a lot of people definitely do get stuck in that kind of that area where they're just like, oh, well, I'm going to be the man here for 30 minutes at this party. You know what I mean?
Which is so like, I don't know, man. I guess it comes down to what you actually want, but it's so strange to me to see that. And like, I think another part of at least Santa Cruz as well is just like there's a really big drug problem. So a lot of like peers or people that I grew up with making music, like some of them passed away. Some of them are still here, but they're not here anymore. You know what I mean? Like they're
I totally get what you're saying.
So it's tricky, man. I think it's a small town vibe, but then also I think it's easy for people to get sucked into like, oh, like I'm just gonna party every day, I'm just gonna have fun, and then all of a sudden you wake up and it's 10 years later and like you haven't done anything and you're just a drug addict now.
Yeah, that's a horrible ass fucking sad truth for sure. That happens fucking everywhere. Does Santa Cruz have like really bad fentanyl shit like that, or like what's
yeah, man. Yeah, it's pills. So Santa Cruz County is like, you know, the bigger county, and there's different parts of it in the Santa Cruz city. So just in Santa Cruz generally, it's like pills and like heroin, and then in the mountains like Felton, Boulder Creek, etc., it's like crystal meth.
Got you. Yeah. Definitely getting in the weeds with all that. Damn, that's too much. I never been that kind of time. I'd always do just some drinking, just smoking some weed, leave it real simple.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, it's crazy. Like, you know, I drank and partied and stuff, but I've just never lost sight of like wanting to be normal as well. You know, like I'm like, okay, like that was fun, but like I also want to work. You know what I mean? Like I want to get stuff done.
Yeah, but you know, there's like a lot of functioning people out there too that'll be like, you know, like I've been on a bender for 8 weeks and I'm still doing all this shit, you know.
8 weeks,
I'm sure there's definitely hella people that be on some shit like that. I've seen some crazy people in my lifetime for sure.
Of course.
On some shit like that.
Of course, man.
But so you're gonna stay in Santa Cruz, but like how often do you come up to the Bay? Like what's your
you know, so it's crazy. So I have recently been trying to travel a lot more. So I dropped my project Thanks for Waiting in December of last year, and I took a couple months off from shows to like really focus and like promote that show. I did that show. It was really successful. I actually brought out Professor Gable and Aft.
In Santa Cruz.
In Santa Cruz, for the album release party.
I do vaguely remember, that being posted and like you guys doing the show and everything for sure.
It was, man, it was really dope. Shout out to them, man. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then after that, my goal was to no longer play shows in Santa Cruz for the near future. So like I'm at the space now in Santa Cruz where the venues are now hitting me up to to open shows.
Yeah.
But the catch for me, okay, so like I did the show, like full transparency, I did the show in Santa Cruz, the one that I promoted myself, booked everybody, paid everybody, and I walked away with like, I don't know, maybe $500, $600, right?
So I was like, beautiful.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah,
so in my head, I was like, okay, like I now have it like figured out. If I work hard, if I promote and I do a show, I know that's what I can take home. And now I have venues that are hitting me up and they're like offering me $100, $150 to open for another artist. And I'm like, man, I don't like.
You're not feeling it.
Not necessarily, because like, for one, what the shows that they're offering me, they're trying to get me to do local support.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they have an artist that may not be as big, and they want me to bring out my crowd.
Out. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, man, do I really want to rally all my people, ask them to pay $20 a ticket? Right? If I bring 20 people, that's $400 that they just spent, and I'm getting $150.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, so like the shows that I want to do, they don't need openers for.
Yeah.
You know what
definitely.
I mean? Like if I Am Sue came to the cat, not saying I'm like my music's like related to I Am Sue, but like as an example,
You want someone who's gonna bring out their own crowd.
exactly. But
Yes,
they don't need
yes.
openers for those shows. So
Yeah.
I'm in kind of a weird place. So my idea has been really not playing shows in Santa Cruz, just kind of because of that. If I'm gonna play a show, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah,
honestly.
gotcha.
So it's been like, let's go other places. So I was in Los Angeles.
Yeah. You made even a like a single off that. Didn't
Yeah,
you?
man. Okay, look, full transparency on this, okay? I went down to Los Angeles. Homegirl down there.
Okay.
Great friend. Low-key fell in love with her.
Okay.
During the 2 days that I was there.
Okay.
It's a long story. During the 2 days that I was there, so I came back, and that song Sunsets in LA, it's a little bit of a metaphor, but it was just about like how in that moment she was like, not the one, but it was like a great
It was a great moment that
it was a great
wanna
moment.
hold on
Right.
to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how that song Sunsets in LA came out. Full transparency. But yeah, so I've just kind of been traveling more and like realizing how important it is to stay like motivated and like stay inspired. So I mean, I'll probably be back in the Bay Area and over the next couple of months. I was supposed to be out here for a radio show with Unlearn the World, but that got canceled. But later on tonight, I'm actually going to go to Santa Rosa for a radio interview and then like a performance.
Okay, that's clean. Do you know where you're gonna perform at tonight?
It's in my phone somewhere.
Yeah. No, I'm just asking because I only know like one venue out in Santa Rosa, which is, shout out to Arlene Center. It could be a different spot completely, but
Hey,
shout out to, whoever's putting on a show for you out there.
definitely.
So I wanted to ask too, so like you do have a daughter. I know she's
Yes.
like a little bit older. How does she like feel like about you like going out and doing all this stuff? Like is she like with it? Is she like a little confused? Like
Man, she, like she's honestly like my favorite person in the world. Like she's just the greatest, dude. And like really, it's cliche, but like she really did like save my life in a lot of ways. Like I wouldn't be the person I am without her. So shout out to her. But she just misses me, dude. Like, it's tricky. I co-parent, so I have my time with her. And I typically don't plan events or anything like that when I have my time with her. It's just kind of like, family time kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when I travel, like when I went to Los Angeles, like she just misses me a lot, dude.
Yeah,
She's
I was
just
gonna
like sad that I'm gone. Plus also she's at this age where she feels like she's missing out. She's like, well, why can't I come? And I'm like, dude, you would not enjoy this. Cause like you've kind of like been around the show, like, to understand like, all right, dude, it's work. You load in, you sound check, you're like stressed out. Okay. You're like hanging out for 2 hours. You play for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Then you have to talk to people.
It's
you
you
have to wait for everyone to leave. You have to
Yeah.
shake more hands, and then you got to break down, and like you haven't eaten. Like it's not kid friendly.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's hard to be like, even in the moment when like you bring people too, because it's like, like you want to be with like all your friends, but at the same time, it's like you kind of got to play this game where it's like, oh, hey, we need to do this.
Yep.
You need to like do your networking game and talk to people and, obviously perform on top of all that. Like it gets really stressful. Like I can't imagine that. But,
Yeah, man. She really misses me. It's funny when I came back to Santa Cruz, we were eating at this taqueria, and I was telling her that I missed Los Angeles, and she goes,
why don't you miss me? No, I'm just playing.
No, she got me good though. She's all why? You live here.
Damn, no way. How old is your daughter? If you want me
She's gonna be 9 in April.
Oh, so she's getting to that like age though, where she's all like, "What the hell?" Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, like, are you worried that I'm gonna like move to Los Angeles?" And she's like, "No," but like she said no in a way that made it seem like, Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
that's kind of tough, but I mean, I don't think you'd really do that. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I like love the content that you do get with your daughter. I always think it's like the funnest, like more like. I don't know, like there's a lot of people, I'm not saying like people should market their kids or anything, but you guys do it in like such a way where it's like your daughter like looks like she really likes to be like involved in these things, and like, you know, she just looks like she likes to help you out, which is like a really cute, wholesome things to see. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. You know, it's crazy. So, okay, so she's been around music her whole life, right? Because of me, and like even before she was born, like I was, you know, working on music, so she's always heard music, and she plays the piano now, and like sings and writes her own songs now at this point, which is dope. But also she's been around like me with the camera and videography, that like she can act. Like she's good at acting, like genuinely good at it. Cool. So like it's dope, man. It's a lot of fun. Like anytime I'm like, hey, you want to shoot a video? She's like, yeah, let's do it. So it's dope. I'm trying to hold on to that until she's like over it, and she's like, Dad, you're whack. Be a moment.
15, 16, she'd be like, man, nah,
whack YouTuber.
Nah, that'd be too much. Okay, so wait, how'd you meet Devin then? Because that's like another connection that's.
Okay, dude. So let's see, Devin. This is crazy because Devin's been like one of my closer homies, at least over the past year. Like we got a lot closer. But I played a show in San Jose, like years ago. It was with Unlearn the World, who's the rapper, activist, runs like Hip Hop for Change in San Francisco. But it was in San Jose, and it was like. It's one of those shows where like you kind of show up and you're like, oh
no,
no, not like not like super bad, but just like, okay, like I see what we're doing. Like it was in, I believe it was in like a not a strip mall, like kind of like a strip mall, but there was like a Chinese restaurant right next to it, and like you know, and it was in like a restaurant, but it was like a sit down restaurant, and like there wasn't really a stage, it was just in the middle. It was just a weird vibe, and like
it was a different kind of show where you're like, oh,
and like a lot of the artists that were there, no disrespect to them, but like it just, they weren't really prepared. They're like plugging in their phone or like playing it off YouTube. And I showed up, and like I gave the guy my USB, and it was like numbered, and he was like so appreciative, and I was like, dude, that's like normal.
That's super normal. Like, dude, that's like the bare minimum,
right? And but he was like, yeah, man, like, man, you really got this, and I'm like, dude, it just like made me think like, damn, what am I doing? I did that show, and Devin actually played that night, and he stood out to me as someone that was like, okay, dude, this dude's got something. Like he's got like he's got a talent. And what I remember most about him is that like you do your thing, you connect with other artists, you're like, oh, dope show. And I got his contact information, and he sent me I sent him a beat after that, because I make beats. I sent him a beat, and he emailed me back, and he was like, yo man, this beat is dope. I'm gonna write something to it. Also, like, if you ever need anything, if you want me to share your music, like basically just being like, yo, I got you. And it was like that meant like so much to me, just like as far as his character of just being like I just met you, but like I rock with you, so like if you ever need anything, like just lock
Say
in.
less. kind of thing.
And then over the past year, we've just really like locked in and like really worked a lot closer together.
That's beautiful. That's like that Bay energy that everyone's talking about, like a lot of people need to be more like that. We were kind of talking last night about like what's going on right now with things like that, and a lot of people think like you were saying in Santa Cruz, like people kind of want to be like the guy they want, or like the person, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like everyone wants to be like, oh, I'm like the biggest star out of here. And I feel like the Bay like has a few of those, and they understand like, like, yeah, I am that person. But like there's also like a lot who are like, let's just build across instead of up, because you're gonna build like a lot stronger foundation if you go like with your people and then start moving up, you know what I mean? Man, I would say this though, man, like something that I think just even stood out about you. We met at the What's Real show at the bottom of the hill, and literally since then, dude, like everything that I've like done or posted or shared, you're like so supportive about. Like, hell yeah, dude, rock out. When I saw your shit, it was just so different, because it's like you make like a I don't know how to explain it, but there are not a lot of people like in your lane, do you know what I mean? You make like I would still like, I kind of hear like the Santa Cruz like influence, you know what I mean? Like it's very like hippie, like beachy. Like I'm not saying you're always like that, but like when I like heard your music, I was like, whoa, like this is definitely something that like a lot of people don't do in the Bay, and even like the people who do try to do it usually don't. Not to be rude to anybody that does, but they usually don't do it as well. So like when I saw that, I was kind of like, oh, like I super fuck with this, and then like like you know, you just had a lot going on. So I was like, why the fuck not help you out? Like, do something. It doesn't cost anything to show somebody some love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I also think that, again, like, I think it just speaks to your character and just like that. To me, I feel like relationships are so important in the music industry and just across any industry. But like seeing that, and then also seeing like how many other people that you rock with and support, and like the team that you've built around Rebel. And I forget the campaign. I like, don't hate me for it, but you did a campaign where it was like
the school thing.
The school, dude, that was so fire, dude. Like
that definitely
that was dope, man. And you had tapped into like so many people and like just the idea of the school. And I remember like, okay, like this dude's super supportive, and just like it made me instantly like want to just support everything that you're doing. Yeah. And like so like I want to give you your flowers, definitely, and like you're doing the right things, dude.
That shit changed my life, to be real with you. Like, I'm
the
like
university campaign?
Yeah. I'm like a really big homebody. I don't really like going out that often. Like, I'm not really like the type of person who's going to talk to everyone. But like that like kind of changed me into, like, it made me become that, you know? Because like I knew Aft, and I knew like my friends who were really close to me who made music. And I was like, oh, like maybe I could just do like 10 people that I knew. And then my friend was like, that's stupid. You should just do like 100. Like, and then like that made me be like, oh, okay, like I should do that. And then that kind of made me like reach out to people. And I don't know. Now I know like so many people. Like when we were at that show yesterday, I would not know any of those people if I didn't do that campaign. You know what I mean?
No, dude, you crushed it, dude. And you said something that was really funny. I think a while ago on Instagram, it was a post about like how people like expect you to like give them stuff for free. Yeah. And you're like, dude, like,
it's cost me so much money.
Like, bro, I can't give you stuff away. Like, you support me if you really want to support me. And that was like, that stuck with me, man, because as an artist, it's like you have those friends that are like your friends. And maybe because they've been friends for so long, they just think
they kind of expect something, or
well, they think that you're not the person that you are now. They look at you like, oh, that's the homie from such and such. And it's like, hey, bro, no, like I'm a musician. I can't just put you on a list. Like, where have you been? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You didn't make the song with me. you didn't help me promote the show. You just want to slide through and be that guy in that moment. So like that really resonated with me. Of like, and you had a great way of saying it. Like, it wasn't like hate. You weren't like, hey, F you guys, but it's just kind of like, hey, dude, like this costs money. Dude.
Exactly. People don't really think about all that because they just see the results. You know, what I mean, nobody sees the work. So. It's really tough to like explain that to people when they don't understand, but like people, do get it, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things you kind of like got to learn from, where it's like, you know, you may want to be like, you know, screw you or whatever, but it's like, bro, if you help me out, like I can help you out.
Dude, that's the thing. So, okay, so get this. So I have a lot of artists, because I book a lot of shows in Santa Cruz. So people that are not from Santa Cruz will hit me up to book shows, and like if I rock with them, I got you, no big deal. Like I've had Professor Gable shows, and like anybody else that I really rock with, I'm easy to get them shows. But I also have people who are in Santa Cruz that hit me up and they're like, yo man, like how do I get involved in like the music scene? Like, yo, I see you doing shows, like how do I get on shows?
Those are no, I know exactly what you're saying, dude.
And I'm like, okay, dope, like come to the show.
Yeah, that's the first step.
Like, dude, and then it's like they don't come to the show, and I'm like, dude, you want me to book you for a show you're not going to yourself?
For real?
You want to play the show that you're not going to. Yeah. Okay. No, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. No, that's so.
Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's so funny because so like just recently I did like those like tweets. I've been doing like tweet posts or whatever.
Which are dope, fire.
It's kind of funny to like just like get a little reaction out of people. But right. So like someone had said like "Let's Work" is the worst DM of all time, and like people got like mad at it, and people were happy about it. People were on both sides. Right. And it's like I'll agree like this like "Let's Work" I think is a horrible DM to start. Like I don't think you should do that.
Nope.
But I think like if you have an idea, that's the problem. Everyone was all like, oh, I'm gonna tell everybody "Let's Work," and it's like you shouldn't really do that though. Like you should come up with an idea. Like
right.
I'm not gonna go into your DM and just be like, yo, let me get this. I'm gonna be like, yo, if we do this, we could work on this, and then make, then I still get what I want, but I helped you out by doing this. You know what I mean? So it's like people don't really get that, and they think like just saying "Let's Work" is like the key to like making things happen. I'm like, you guys are missing the point. Like you guys can say it, but like figure out a nice way to say it. It's like you be booking venues, right? So like, right. There's like a little, I'm not going to say everyone has the same template, but people will be like, hi, my name is Alwa Gordon. I'm from Santa Cruz, and I blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
People just say, can I book a show? And it's like, bro, like that's not how this works. Like people don't respond to those things.
Yeah, dude. You know what? Okay, so here's the thing. I've found a way to cut out a lot of BS. And it's a really simple trick. You're welcome to use it. Everyone that's listening to this can use it. Because you get those people that hit you up kind of just to hit you up, and they're not really serious, right? They're like, yo, let's do this, let's do that. Yo, man, I want to. So I always go, perfect. Send me an email.
Oh yeah, and that ends it right there.
Dude, it's so, I don't know why it works. It cuts out 80%, and the people that are serious, they send you an email because that's actually how stuff works. You can't book a show through DMs. You know what I mean? Like you email them. Like so, it cuts out 90% of the people. They just fall after you. So feel free to use it, man. Let's work. Dope. Send me an email, though.
Dead ass. That's hella funny because people have actually done that to me before too, where they're like, "All right, just send it to me through email," and then I do it, and then they're like, "Oh, okay."
Because you actually are serious about it. But it's like the people that aren't serious about it for whatever reason, that email, they're just like, I can't do it, man.
Yeah. That's so strange to me. No, and people like, I don't know, people like love doing that too. I have. We were just talking about Pussy before we got in here, but. For a minute, he was like talking to me about getting on here to do like a show because he's trying to promote his new album coming out. Yeah, and so I love Pussy. He's one of my favorite rappers ever. But like he kept saying, let's pick in a day, and I was just so busy. I was like, let's just when it comes, it comes. And then finally he saw me in person and he was like, can we do that show? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then he was like, no, but I need a date like right now. I need a date right now. And I was like,
dog, I'm not letting you leave till you tell me.
Yeah. But I respect shit like that. You know what I mean? Like if you really want some shit like that, he came to a show.
Exactly.
And he was like, yo, what's up? Like,
dude, that's the funniest part for me is when people are asking for stuff and like not him as an example, but like people that hit me up because I've had people be like, yo, like I want to get involved in the music scene. And it's like, bro, you have to show up.
Yeah, showing support is the biggest start to getting anything.
It's the best way, and also like, dude, like, how do you expect to make any connection?
For
like,
real.
if you're not even a part, like, how do I become a part of it? You got to be a part of it.
Yeah, exactly. You got even just being there as a fan. That's a great way to start. You know what I mean?
That's literally it, man. I feel like a lot of people aren't willing to take that step, and they're just like, okay, what it is to me is that they're asking without giving.
Yeah, no. That's 100% true. You know what's funny is I know this other artist. We don't have to say names, obviously, but like he's very much like what you're saying right now, and it's funny because he was talking to me recently. And we both have like a mutual friend who makes music, and this person doesn't show up to any of the shows. Yeah. And he was like, man, I asked so-and-so for a feature, and he asked for money. And I'm like, well, what do you expect? He doesn't know you. You don't go to any of the shows. Like, if you showed up and talked to him like for 5 minutes, like at each show that he's at, I know that's like money that you're spending by going to a show, but you can meet 100 other people and have a good time and listen to music. You don't have to be around this person's like fucking arm the whole time and like try and like schmooze them up. Like just say what's up and then move on. Like there's so much shit going on throughout the day.
I think a big key also is for artists or anyone that like wants something, you got to provide value, dude. So like I will there's a lot of artists that I want to collab with, and if I hit them up, like if I know them and I hit them up for collab and they're like, yo, here's my feature price, like I don't necessarily have a budget for that, but I'll hit them back like, hey dude, like I respect the art, I respect the price, like I don't have a budget for that, can we work out a trade? I can shoot some content for you, I can shoot a video, I can produce something for you idea. And it's like, but it's also said with like, hey, if that doesn't work, it's totally fine. Like I'm not disrespecting. You should be asking for money. You deserve to get paid. 100%. But can we work out something where I'm still providing value to you? Yeah. And I think a lot of people forget that, like, when someone comes back with a price, that's not always the price. There's other ways 100%. Like, hey dude, can I find a different way to support you? Maybe I can book you for et cetera, et cetera. So I think if you're watching or listening to this and you're like an artist or whatever, just think like there's other ways you can provide value to someone in exchange for what you want.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I've never even thought about that, but that's so smart. Like if you're even barely good at one other thing, like if you take photos every once in a while, videos, whatever it is, fucking styling, I don't fucking know. Yeah. Like you can bring value in so many other ways that are, not just like being like, oh, here's $300 for a fucking verse or whatever the fuck.
Which is like, because I don't got it, dude. I don't got the
what the fuck?
I'm broke.
We're all
dude.
broke as fuck.
Fucking broke, dude. I don't got it.
I'm trying to sell all this right now. No, I'm just playing.
I'm broke, man.
Yeah, for real.
I don't got it like that.
That's some real ass shit.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so what did you really think of like the FNG show last night?
Yo, okay.
Here, wait 1 second. Let me restart it and then we can go. It out right here.
Here, I can record on mine for now, dude.
Oh yeah, that'd be clean. Here, look. Let's see. Okay, yeah, and you could even just email him over the stuff.
Yeah, I'll send it over.
So, fuck, what were we even just talking about? We were talking about the show.
Family Night Group.
We were talking about the Renaissance that's going on and stuff.
Yeah, and
like,
you're saying something that you've seen.
Yeah, I've been seeing it for a long time. It's a beautiful thing to see, but like I wish like the only thing I want is like more people like you, like kind of like on the outside, like looking into like bring more and more people. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like we talked about this at the last night's show with some of my friends. It's like it's always a beautiful time to be at an FNG show. It's always a beautiful time to be at any show in the Bay right now because it's kind of like that everywhere. But it feels like you feel like I see the same people everywhere. That's the problem. And that's not like a huge problem. It's a great problem to have. But it's like I need like each one of like their friends to bring like 5 new friends each time. Right. There's always new people there, but I feel like I just need like a little bit like a bump through the ceiling. You know what I mean? Like we need to like break through it just a little bit more.
Dude, so let me ask you a question. I went out with What's Real a little bit last night and we hit like some clubs and stuff like that. And it had felt like before that most of the clubs out here got really like whitewashed. Yes, and like it's a lot 100%. Of like techno and like bros, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot of bros or it's a lot of techies.
Patagonia.
Definitely a lot of white folks for sure.
So like as far as just like the music scene, I know there's a renaissance and it feels like an art renaissance and music renaissance. But do you feel like there's still like are there venues that really cater to like I don't want to say rap or hip hop,
like you're saying like black folks or like brown folks?
Yes.
There definitely are, but there are a lot of people that are hating, and there's a lot of people hating on, like that are on the same side. I'll say right now, this is motherfucker. We don't have to say what his name is, but I know like there's this dude. There's a place called the Speakeasy. It's over in the Bayview.
Okay.
And they were super supportive of like black and brown artists for a long time, and then all of a sudden they switched up, and it was so weird. It was like I remember I had booked a venue there or booked a show there to do like a Rebel U show, and this guy was super down, blah blah blah, and then literally like a week before it happens, he was like, "Hey, like another person booked the venue that same day, and I'd rather work with them." And it's like, what? Like, what do you mean, bro? Damn. Like, yeah, and then you go there and it's nothing but white people, and it's like, oh, this is what you wanted, okay, like I get it. Damn. And so there's definitely a lot of people hating, but like there's also a lot of love. It just depends on like who can bring the money, and I think right now, FNG, like a lot of black led groups are kind of bringing the money. You know what I mean? So. I think it's changing, but it's definitely going to be like a slow thing. There's definitely still a lot of white clubs out here. There's still hella gentrified shit going on. And, it's up to us to like change it, like, and make like, at least like get the fucking gentrifiers to give us some money while they're outside. You know what I mean? There was definitely a couple gentrifiers in LA last night. Yeah. I'm sure they buy hella drinks. And, like, it's a thing that you're going to see everywhere.
Man.
But
yeah. Okay, cool. No, it definitely gives me a little bit more faith last night because, like, I forget the name of the last club that we went to, but they're like playing hip hop. Not the Independent. It was the Independent. It was a super white show.
Yeah.
But we went to, is it Beverly Hart? No, Beverly.
I do not know any Beverly venues.
It was the last venue we went to, but it was dope. It was lit. They were playing hip hop music. It was a vibe. It was like people that I felt like comfortable being around type thing.
Do you know
what I mean?
where it was in the city?
I can look at like my
You're gonna look at where you were last night.
Yeah, I know. Just look at like where I spent money last night.
That's hella funny.
Let's see. It's like Beverly something, man.
I don't know Beverly, but that's.
Let's see. It was Brava.
I feel like I do know that one.
Brava something.
I think
Brava Theater.
Oh, Brava Theater.
Wait, hold on. No, not Brava Theater. That was where the whatchamacallit show was. No, not El Rio. Where was it at, man? It was a dope venue though. I think it was downtown. Not downtown, but it was not the Independent. Damn.
You didn't like do anything like over by What's Real spot?
No.
I used to, the only reason
Beauty Bar.
Oh, I love Beauty Bar.
Yeah, okay. Yo, that was a vibe, dude. It was like, okay, these are my people here. I fuck with it.
What's hella funny is, okay, so we can just end it after this, but like, Beauty Bar used to be a super gentrified bar to me. Like when I went,
Really?
like I went like 6 years ago. So like when I first moved here type shit,
Yeah.
my friends would always be like, yo, Beauty Bar, it's the spot. And then I would go there and it'd be nothing but techno music and white people in there. And I'd always be like, why do we want to be in here? I hate this shit. Like
Right.
it's not something I can get jiggy with. But then like as I started coming around like everyone else and like it's been years later, like they're like, yo, let's go to Beauty Bar. And I'd be like, I do not want to go to that white trash ass spot.
Right.
And then I'd go there and I'm like, oh, it's like hip hop music now. Like this is actually cool. I fuck with this. Like,
dude, it was a vibe, man. It was super dope. It's like it's a smaller spot kind of thing, but it was a vibe, dude. That's where we ended our night. It was
that's how you got to do it though, too. You know, I mean, like that's a spot that's changed for sure, and like that's that's the narrative we're trying to change. Like you can be at these shows and nothing will happen. Like like these are still safe spaces. Like nobody's gonna get fucking shot and robbed. Like we're trying to have a good open space where everyone's allowed to be at and fucking you want to be like catered to and felt like you're seen and loved and all that kind of stuff.
That's facts, dude. That's fucking 100% facts, dude.
Okay, well we've been going for a little minute. Is there anything that you wanna advertise right now before we get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, for anybody that doesn't follow me or rock with me, all of my social media and Spotify, it's all under my name. It's Alwa. It's ALWA Gordon, GORDON. So again, that's ALWA GORDON. I just dropped an album called Thanks for Waiting. I just dropped a single called Sunsets in LA, and we all know what that means. No, hey. I just dropped a single called Sunsets in LA, and yeah, just check in, tap in with the music. That's about it, man. Also, before we take off, man, I just want to say I really appreciate you, man. Like honestly, just beyond what you're doing here, I'm a fan of what you've done. I'm a fan of like how supportive you are to not just me, but just artists. And like, it seems like you push what you like and you push things that are inspiring you. And like, I think that's how it gets done. So people may not give you enough flowers. So I just want to give you your flowers while I have you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That's that oos energy, That's Polynesians all day, baby.
Hey.
There you go. Here, look, I'm going to put on your shit really quick and then we can.
Airwaves, everybody, you are tuned in to 88 over everything. This is the radio station holding it down for Los Angeles. We got a brand new song coming from Alwa Gordon. This song called Sunsets in LA. I think it's an ode to the city. Let's check it out.
Sunsets in LA. What can you tell me? Feeling so starstruck. Like where will they call us? When the sun goes down, I'm sure I'll stick around. And when the lights get low and I lose all control, then you know where I'm gonna be found. Sunsets in LA. What can you tell me? Feeling so starstruck. Where will they call us? When the sun goes down, I'm sure I'll stick around. When the lights get low and I lose all control, then you know where I'm gonna be found.
Hey, I'm trying to show you how the world works. Keep on spinning, guess the world hurts. Some days I wonder where it's taking us. Late night I've been waking up, praying I can make enough. I witnessed stories on the atlas, raised in the desert, drinking water out of cactus. People tell me they can do it like I do, but never practice. I guess it's why it seems like